Takt Op Destiny episode 2. This was a very necessary episode because it answers a lot of questions about how we kind of got to the point that we are, especially in terms of like Cosette, how she's like basically robotic.
I was not looking forward to this episode because the episode opens with a whole Takt's father dying in the initial attacks of D2 and just showing the initial carnage of it, and that them banning music across the country and whatnot, and just then it goes ahead in time where Takt's just playing piano in his garage, and Cosette opens the door, and I'm just like, that's not the same character.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I was just like, oh no.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was sick. I'm not gonna like this.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, dude. Like the whole episode, I was just sitting there. I'm like, all right, when's the doom coming? Because there's doom coming in this episode.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, it was very good. Just because, as you said, this was very much unnecessary because we got a nice introduction to each of the characters in the world in the first episode, but the second episode really gives us more of what their personalities and characteristics are. Mm-hmm. It's nice to know that regardless of what happens, Takt literally just cares about playing music. That's it.
Yeah.
Even before everything that happens. Because that's much more of an interesting character, though, knowing how she was during this time and stuff.
Cosette.
Cosette?
Yeah. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Cosette.
Okay, yeah.
And her taking care of Takt with Anne and everything. Them just watching over him, and just how throughout this entire episode, she's constantly pushing him to go out and play music in public and everything.
Yeah.
To the point where she steals his damn piano.
Yeah, so he can't play at home. Also, one of my favorite shots in this episode is this man goes from a fucking shit to just because he heard music playing. He heard his piano playing, and he went from taking a fatty shatty to going and seeing what was going on.
My piano's more important than my pants.
Yes. I loved that shot. That shot was hilarious. Yeah, you're right. She literally steals his damn piano to bring it to a festival, and assuming that he'll obviously come, to play music, because that's all he cares about, and his piano got taken out of his garage.
It was pretty entertaining because there's a whole scene before that during the rain where Cosette shows up to Takt and talk to him when it's raining and whatnot, and just going on a whole how she feels talking to him about what's he gonna do when no one's there to
take care of him, basically.
Yeah, take care of him and play, and no one else can hear his music and everything, which was also really nice because right before that we also had the nice imagery of him playing and just sort of it coinciding with, I guess, his father when his father was conducting.
Yeah.
Because I gotta say, this series has amazing shots and imagery for me. Because even after the first couple scenes, after Cosette and Anne came and took care of Takt and they left, and just seeing Cosette play keys on the car's window in the same way that he did in the first episode was just great imagery to me of just the two of them are very much in sync in some form, and just the entire episode during that, them talking during the rain and everything really pushed that. It just, these two in a way really understand each other in some form or fashion.
Yeah, true. And then also, further kind of pushing the narrative of these two being really close or whatever, potential, I'd say potential romance, definitely being teased there, was the fantastic, scene of them playing music together, at the festival. Initially, it was just him playing, and then she joined in, and they were just like, rocking and rolling. Everyone was getting on board with it. That was great. That was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was a great, several minutes of just the background, because it was just music in the background sound, and just the animation was done very well. Good as well. And did you notice the necklace?
What, hers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because during that piano scene, if you're watching when they're playing piano, it starts glowing.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
As soon as it started glowing, I went, well, shit.
Yeah, throughout this whole thing, it's like such a great moment. Whatever, I'm sitting there saying, I'm like, the doom is coming. The doom is coming.
Because I thought that was a really nice touch of just, as they're finishing up that performance, the necklace around her neck just starts glowing, and it just stays glowing. It actually starts getting brighter through the rest of the episode there until the D2 show up and attack, and just...
Yep.
I guess she has some connection or whatnot because she felt it. Because right before that D2 drop, she pulls shit out of the way. Takt, yeah. Because you can see she sort of reacts, and if you look quick enough, she slightly pulls him off stage with her and everything. And then we have the unfortunate thing of she unfortunately dies.
Rip.
And Takt loses his arm, and that little necklace reacts to him of saying that bring her back, and there's some weird fire spirit that comes out of it.
Yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah.
Now, with the necklace, did she happen to mention, or am I making this up, that the necklace came from her mother?
No, she did not specifically say that. But whenever she first mentions how she learned to play piano was from her mother, she actively grabs the necklace, very much hinting that it came from her mother.
Makes sense.
It didn't outright say it, but very much hinted that it was some sort of memento from her mother.
So you think that fire spirit was like her mom or something?
I don't know, because it hasn't really explained what the whole powers that the Muzarks are.
Very true.
Because even in the initial description was just, and then the Muzarks showed up with the power to fight. So I don't know exactly what it is. It's definitely some weird contract that he unfortunately signed that to revive Cosette how she is, it required his arm as payment.
Yeah, because when it came to the arm thing, like his arm was like badly like hurt in this situation.
Oh, it was completely gone.
Yeah, like it was useless at that point. So then whenever he kind of like got the contract, that's when you see like her start to like almost like lift up, like something you'd see off Paranormal Activity or something.
Yeah.
The rose, the roses, thorns, whatever, get wrapped around his arm, which rips his arm off. You see blood just kind of splatter out, and then you see the Cosette that we got to know in episode 1 with like the kick-ass outfit. It looks super clean, but at this point she's like robotic, like
she's completely emotionless.
Completely emotionless, and then gives him the wand. And I do have a beef with the end in this episode. I'm not going to dive into it horribly, just mostly because we're 47 minutes in.
Okay,
but I just personally was not a huge fan of the way the episode ended. I don't feel like it made a lot of sense from a human standpoint, no matter who you were. But I mean, I can excuse it because, like I told Zach before we even started, the rest of this episode was fantastic. I did just think the ending was dumb, but everything else was incredible. And with the next episode as well, I do hope, maybe not even the next episode, but over the next few episodes, like what you were saying, how we've gotten no explaining about the Muzark. I hopefully we get more on that, because I'm very curious of these powers.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming we're going to see more Muzarks. I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, because in the opening it showed off at least 2 others, and then in this episode it actually introduces the Grand Maestro Sagan, who it didn't say it, but I assume leads the New York Symphonia.
That'd be my assumption as well. That's right. He was shown in this episode. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, very good episode. This is a good series so far. Do we again didn't look this up? Do we know, is this does this come from a manga? Or is this a book?
I'm gonna go say novel.
Light novel. Okay.
Because I don't remember ever coming across a manga like this, but hey, who knows?
Okay. And also, shout out, I don't know if you saw this. I just reported this in, I think the second episode of AniMan Plus News. This episode was done by Mappa. First episode was done by Madhouse. They switched. I think so.
Oh, I didn't notice. I mean, I saw Mappa's signature on this, but I didn't think of it because the series was originally announced at a Mappa event, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was with collaboration of Madhouse, and I just assumed they'd work on every episode together. No, apparently what it's going to be is like they'll each just take an episode. Because I saw that news after episode 1 came out that Madhouse did the first one, the second one's going to be Mappa, and I'm like, that'll be very interesting to see the contrast between episodes.
That explains why there was so much more action in the first episode.
Because of Madhouse.
Yes.
Yeah. So it'll be that's one thing that I am kind of going to be very curious about this entire season, is the contrast between the 2 studio episodes. You know what I mean? I'm also wondering how they're going to do it. Are they just going to like one take even, one take odd numbers? Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see.